Greetings, Metanthropes, and welcome to Meta Monday episode 56. I hope everyone can hear me nice and well. I'm your host and narrator John, and today I am joined by my co-host Lefty QP, the orchestrator. Greetings, bro. How you doing?
Hi, bro. Nice to be here. Hi, everyone. So excited. Another month has gone by, and we have some cool stuff to share with you guys.
Absolutely. Happy holidays to everyone. As you see, we are wearing our holiday dresses, our aperitifs, whatever you call them. And also I'm premiering and showcasing for the first time my new streamer light that's like shining on my face like the sun in front of me, and a green screen behind me. That's why I'm part of this amazing artwork by Wermund Grey, the cover of our anthology series Ether. So I'm floating among the shards. One with the shards here. So today, we have some very cool stuff to show you. And actually, bro, you have to also show me some very cool version 14 stuff that I haven't even seen myself yet. So how
yes,
about...
Yes, indeed. You are actually... Yeah, indeed. We have running version 14 for Foundry VTT. That's currently in a prototype phase, and it's alleged to become the new stable Foundry version early 2026. Perhaps the developers will give us a new prototype build to test during the holidays, but we have been working and playing with all the new features, trying to make them work, and we're gonna be talking about the new upcoming build soon, but spoiler alert, it's going to support both version 13 and the upcoming version 14. So today the demo we have for you is also some things that I haven't found the time to show to John, so I'm going to share to John and get his reaction on some of the upcoming changes.
But so before we get into any of that, we should talk about how today marks, not specifically today, but this month, this sixth consecutive live stream marks the sixth, for the past 6 months we haven't missed a heartbeat, we haven't missed a month, and we have been here committed, delivering you monthly updates via our live streams and our newsletter each month. And we are very excited.
We released the previous Meta Monday episode that was recorded.
And now we have uploaded all previous Meta Monday episodes since we rebooted and restarted the series. So it's all about being committed. It's all about giving our best each and every month to deliver you monthly updates, whether that would be visuals or virtual or VTT updates or game updates or news or upcoming releases, whatever the case may be. It's today signifies for us an important day, as it is for half a year now we have been consistent, and we most certainly plan to do so in 2026.
Indeed.
And
so I posted a link on chat for those following us live on the previous Meta Monday episode, now available on YouTube. And let's
join us on our journey with our newsletters and our live streams, and we can't wait to share the rest of our story and journey with you in 2026. So let's kick things off with something that has been a long time coming, and we have been discussing and teasing it for a long time: the new 100 meta-powered icons. We have been at work with our dear friend Spiros Drakatos from One Sick Puppy, and he and his team has delivered all these amazing stuff that we're gonna show you for the first part of our live stream, starting with the icons for the classifications. So everything has been updated, everything has been refined and polished, but we also have some cool new icons, like the controller icon, which is basically the hexagon, which signifies movement in our game, with these two little pointy things, which like maybe a line crossing them, because controllers are all about crowd control, it's all about freezing other targets' movement. So I think it's very befitting icon. We also have the kineticists, which is like one with movement, and it's all about like pyrokinesis and aerokinesis and all that, so it fits extremely well. And all the others have been refined and polished and working splendidly. But not just the classification icons we have to show you. All the 100 meta-powered icons have been updated and upgraded. So I'm just going through them. But QP, you can throw some links on chat. We're also gonna throw them possibly on the description for the YouTube video, like sorted by name, classification, energy type, and all those, because we have made them available for all our guests in the website, not just signed up members, so they can have a look and have a little tease of our new icons. So we are still in the process of moving everything and replacing everything with the new ones, but because it's also it's the website and the VTT, which we're gonna be visiting pretty soon. But just want to go through a very quick glance and a very quick roll down of every icons. Which one has really made you which one do you feel is your favorite of the new icons, QP?
Well, it's hard to say. I guess the new kineticist classification icon is pretty cool. I really like the acidokinesis, and it's always like, there you go. It's you see this icon or radiokinesis or any of the kinetics, and you're like, okay, I can get what this thing will do. So the idea again is to create some symbology where you get, if you guys remember our previous show, we showcased how these will look on the new character sheet. So the idea is to have icons that are pretty straightforward to understand. Once you get to look at it, say, oh, this is the ability that controls time, and this is the ability that deals damage, without really having to learn everything by heart, because at the end of the day it's 100 different icons. Even I get I'm sure, John, you two get confused sometimes, but or maybe
not really. Yes. I have been uploading them and changing icons for so long, and then I can see them I see them in my dreams, or something.
But yeah, the whole idea is that this will be helping people. Again, the grand idea behind everything is to keep the immersion level high and the crunch level low. So the icons, I think they're great, and soon we will have new pages on the website for people to be able to browse them and see them. If you are already a member of the protagonist access or narrator access on the website, you can also see the full content of the meta powers. If you are a guest, you will only be able to see the descriptions,
right?
And some new pages and layouts will come soon to help showcase and make them easier to browse and view.
This one is my favorite. I think it's my favorite meta power. It has the coolest icon.
And as an icon, it's your favorite icon.
Yeah, it works both ways, I would say. But the thing is, as we are replacing everything, we're not just replacing for the website, we are replacing also for the VTT, and the new build will feature them. So I think it's a very good transition to switch to the VTT, our beloved Foundry modules. So let's talk about, besides the new That's like from the journal that already been replaced, and the characters that already been replaced, the icons. Um, let's talk about what's new and what's coming in our favorite Foundry VTT home.
So first of all, we're running what we're showing you guys today is a prototype build for version 14. There are still some quirks that will be addressed before releasing. Speaking of the build itself, we want to give it to you guys before the holidays. Hopefully by the end of the week, you're gonna have it on your hands to download and play. It will include some updates, fixes, new font awesome implementations, and among other things, it will also include the first UI refresh. And I'm saying the first because it's not going to be the last. The part of the new UI that comes with the new character sheet is not going to be part of this build, but they're going to be new assets for both the dark and the light theme, for the chat, the various application icons, windows, and so on. So it's going to be close to what you're seeing today on your screen, what John is demoing. However, it won't be exactly as you see on the screen, as we're still doing a lots of fine-tuning and finishing touches on this part of the new UI. Now, what John hasn't seen, but is going to be part of our version 14, are going to be the new scene transitions. So let's demo this right now with John. Again, this is not something that we developed. It's part of the new version 14 feature list that's coming to everyone that has Foundry. However, we're going to be customizing some of our own transitions when you change a scene to another scene. So John, what I would like you to do is to go to the right hand side where it says scenes, and let's switch to our you can see the scenes there. I believe there's the opera scene there. Before you transition to the opera, you can right click and configure it and bring that window to the center of the screen so we can all see that. And great. Now go to the last tab, the ambience tab, and you can see a new area called transition animation. No, that's not the. You need to bring it to the center.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is where our cameras are. There we are.
Yeah, so now you can see there is the transition animations option, and what you can do, you can click one of them at random, whatever you choose, and click the play button next to it. That will help you preview it, and hopefully everyone on the stream will also see the transition.
Yeah.
So the idea here is that Foundry, previously when you switched from one scene to the next, you had this black loading screen with a loading bar up top that kind of broke immersion, and instead now you can have any of those transitions. So John, go ahead and pick a few at random and click play. And so this, for example, for me is a portal. So if so we can set it up in such a way that when a user steps on a portal icon, you have the scene region where you have defined, and once the player crosses this threshold, they transfer to another screen.
So if I activate now Opera, it will use this animation and change it.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and transition, and we transition to the opera through a portal or whatever. So that's the idea. You have a bunch of different transitions, and I'm sure that very creative people in the community might come up with their own additions to these and customizations. But the list is pretty good on its own. You can say that you were punched into another dimension, and
let's try glitz. Let's try glitz.
The glitz is more of a punch. You got punched into existence, kind of. breaking the barrier and entering a different scene, which I think is very cool because modders and ourselves as system builders, we can um, select and define and customize the transitions so that when you go from area A to area B, you get a different kind of cool transitions. Or that white noise could be when you're switching to the CCTV camera feed, and so on and so forth. You can come up with some cool ideas, and we would love to hear your feedback, guys, on what would you like to see or what you envision when you see this feature.
I love it how you can create theme appropriate transitions, like for this one maybe you enter like a watery cave or something, and it's hence the waves, or when you enter like a digital
I haven't looked into it, but maybe we could customize it on our own and give it some transitions when you're entering the various dimensions. You get an additional effect when the transition first happens, right? So it's definitely a cool feature and a feature that's really great to have on Core Foundry, which I think is great.
Yeah, even the fade really works. It's really much better.
Much better than the black screen. Even if it wasn't customizable, if it just had the fade thing, it would still be an amazing upgrade. I know that in the past there have been some kind of modules that did that, but I haven't personally used any of them. So I guess some people already have that functionality, but still, it's great to be in the core, and we can probably, since we're in the Opera, talk a little bit about the new introductory actors that come come as part of the upcoming update.
So our new build is coming pretty soon, possibly well, I shouldn't say before discussing it in private, but I believe it will be pretty soon, right? With the 100
I already said that hopefully by the end of the week, but definitely before the new year we want to have one last released in 2025, and that will include a lot of fixes and some of the new UI and the new introductory pre-made actors, which
possibly
we will
by
show.
By the end of the week we'll be sending our 6 consecutive newsletters, so it would be a good time to have some cool news to show and display.
That's the plan.
Okay, let me activate this scene just because, or maybe not. Okay. And let's talk a little bit about the concept behind the new pre-made protagonists. Well, when we discussed it, actually the main idea, we discussed it thoroughly on the last live stream, why we do these changes. So I guess we should directly go to who all those characters really are. I know you have them like all piled up and in the welcome screen, but I think this animated screens it's more fun to be around. I just want to see myself in the green screen navigating around the opera. So we have those cool 10 characters, and the main characteristic of them, besides having a unique meta power, a unique Arcane regression each, a unique perk, a unique combination of perks, should I say, they also have a unique and distinct timeline where they come from. So they're not like everyone from a modern 2020s something era. You have a variety, but they all merge seamlessly, should I say, into the main storyline. Let's start with the Aegis protagonist, now known as Althea Jean-Baptiste. She's from a modern timeline in Miami, USA, And although her summary hasn't changed, the Ike is still the protector, is still the elemental connection and with a heritage. Now she has given a soul, a flesh, and a heart, and a beating heart, and a background basically. Born in a Haitian American family, she grew up between two intersection of worlds, the fast modern life and the inherited wisdom carried by her elders. I'm not gonna go through the entire background for each and every one of them right now, but her concept is that she was protecting her commune and also learning about the traditions of her family, and she was working on helping the old members of her community, aging neighbors, struggling parents, the lonely, the ill. And one fateful day, she, while visiting her, let me search it a bit more. While visiting her family island, he was exposed to a coastal sea cave illuminated by bioluminescent tide pools and experienced a sudden surge of elemental resonance. That was her elemental connection. In that moment, her metamorphosis awakened the ability to heal in ways she never imagined. And that awakening magnified everything she already was, her protective instincts, devotion to others. And now she stands at the crossroad of honoring for where he came and maybe returning back and helping her community, but fully reaching her potential by using her gifts beyond her own family and community to wherever the multiverse may take her. It's a very interesting character with a contrast between your family and your responsibilities to family and tradition, but also following your own path and exploring who you are and your capabilities, where your capabilities can reach. Let's move on to Cassian, the Conjurer World. This one, for example, comes from London, but from London in the height of the early 20th century. We're talking about prestige and illusionist type of timelines. And in an era where everyone marveled with smoke and mirrors, with illusionists, he was an engineer creating trapdoors and mechanisms. But as he was accumulating his own faith and performing shows under the persona of the Conjurer, he discovered a mechanical idol and a book that came with it. And this book actually contained mathematics, equations, and designs far ahead of its time. And by practicing those things that he learned on the Eidolon, it gained life, and through it he gained his material connection that is bound to this item, and it awakened the power to duplicate himself. And the idol, whatever it was, it cannot be misplaced, it cannot be discarded, it cannot be thrown away. It keeps returning to himself, and wherever he turns it and moves it around his mechanical parts, he can duplicate himself. So this only has a different aesthetic and a different timeline approach from the previous one, right, QP?
Yeah, so you have Cassian, who's coming from late 20th century, so he's not accustomed to things like electricity or whatnot, or rather they're mostly used electricity back then as a stage trick. But Althea is coming from a more close to modern, more close to what we would consider a normal timeline. I wanted to ask, are all of these, you said they come from different timelines. Is there something special in each of these timelines?
Not in every,
that players can draw from as they're getting into the story and
not
characters?
forcefully chosen for each and everyone to have something special, but some of them do. Some, like Diego Delgado Cruz, who I know is one of your favorites, born in
Delgado has
Albuquerque,
always been a trustworthy name.
yeah, New Mexico and the USA. The thing with he's also comes from a modern type of timeline, but the thing with timelines is you may know, let's say both Althea and Diego come from the 2020s. Their timelines though, they're vastly different. So it's not like we don't have one linear timeline where some come from the past, other come from the future, another from the middle, and they just meet together. They come from different worlds, and as you said, some of those worlds have something vastly different. In this particular case, we are watching the story of an aviator of United States Marine Corps, a helicopter pilot, who is training and performing routine exercises, training exercises in an anomaly zone that's very characteristic for his own timeline, that is fused with fluctuations of dark energy. So this world is something like a phenomena happening to the world where it affects mostly everyone, most certainly the governments, that study it and work around it and trying to find how to do this and that. Maybe not like the everyday people, but it is something that's vastly different from our own. But during one such mission, a tragic event occurred, and our beloved traumatized pilot not only lost his team, but one among the team was a person he loved. So he's a very traumatized figure. But through this accident, he passed through this dark energy fluctuations, and his metamorphosis occurred, his cosmic connection, and now he wields the ability to project through dark energy and influence it. So there is a bit of tragedy in some of them, and because Metanthropes is all about the meta, which all of the amazing cool meta powers you have, but it's also about the anthrope, aka the human side, the passions, the errors, the tragedy, the loss, the grief, the pain, the hope, everything that comes with it. So this one character, with the regression suppressed, he fears of losing control and causing another tragedy, another accident. So he has to, while on the surface he's a very well-mannered, good energy type of person, but he hides such deep pain, and players choosing Diego can explore those feelings and explore this heavy burden. And another one who comes with sort of a tragic background. Again, not all of them come from a super special timeline, not all of them have a dark tragic background just for the sake of it. But Elise Fontaine from France, is a young, promising, hopeful student studying in the Sorbonne Université in Paris. She comes from a supportive family, studying psychology in a world full of new possibilities ahead of her, but she was diagnosed from a very early age from Hodgkin lymphoma, which is a very, very severe case of disease, basically like cancer. I'm not a doctor or anything, but I think it's basically like cancer in her early 20s. And as you can see, we do touch some very sensitive subjects, but through her treatment and through her chemotherapy cycles, she had her metamorphosis during one treatment cycle full of exhaustion, lines blurred between sleep and staying awake. She experienced a vision, a sense of presence, and fragments of awareness that wasn't her own. This was her psychic connection, her own metamorphosis, and through that she comes with lore, with a perk lore, so she knows awareness of other individuals like her, distant yet unmistakably present. She knows about Metanthropes, she knows about meta powers, she has sensed them, and she has developed telepathy. And now, through her, while still struggling with her disease, her purpose rekindled into something she has lost forever. She regained her hope, and while her illness remains still a part of her life, it's no longer the defining center, and instead Elise carries forward a new sense of meaning and the hopes of finding others such as himself, and helping them discover the extraordinary found within. Very cool subject, very cool characters, I think. And by cool, I mean, Metanthropes. Both something meta and amazing.
They are exactly. I was going to say, they're not your typical superhero. They're not dressed in spandex and capes and whatnot. I mean, some of them we will get there, but the thing is that players can grab that background and role play on top of that, which is a challenge. It's not something that we feel that everyone's going to go down the same path, given that this is your background. And I know that for a fact a lot will adjust, and that's the whole point, to give you food for thought, to get you in a character, to get you to experience and roleplay, which I think is really cool. So I see you have Kwaku Mensa coming up. I think he's. I think the next two are pretty. I like both him and the next one pretty much.
Kwaku, let's go to our bookworm of the crew. Born in Accra, in Ghana, Kwaku studied history and classical literature at the university there in Ghana, but he is fascinated with folklore and linguistics and mythology, and while studying some ancient manuscripts, he had a vision, he had an experience. It was a very misfiled manuscript it was written in Twi and Latin notations, and he experienced something like a faint breeze, stillness in the air. He also heard a distant laughter, saw a spider at the edge of his eyesight while reading about the god Anansi. And unbeknownst to him or not, maybe it will be up to the player choosing how exactly this dark pact was made, and this otherworldly entity has given him the power to bend luck. So
Smile upon the god.
Yeah, we are going only through the background of the character. That we also have a physical description and some roleplay guidance, and it explains how he perceives risk and arrogance and opportunity, as he can bend luck, and he is truly one of a kind. So this one is a more aloof, no tragedy here, even though it's a dark pact. It's not like the classic Mephistophelian, to gain power, give my soul to gain more power, Faustian or whatever, type of dark pact. This one is a bit, it's an aloof academic, maybe he did no purpose, maybe he didn't know what he was doing, maybe he will use it for...
it's more of a Loki playing with mortals kind of a
something like that, yeah,
rather than dark pact.
So it's very fascinating how players will experience this connection with a powerful otherworldly being that can be an incarnation of astral or whatever else the narrator, and with a combination with the player, want to discover. And then we return to London but in a different type of London from Cassian, a different type of timeline. And Malcolm Shaw is our Sixth Sense private investigator who is in disbelief of his gifts.
This is, I think, and I'm biased. I don't mind saying, but this is probably my favorite because it combines the private investigator arc with disbelief, which I think is an amazing combo to roleplay as. Perhaps my favorite regression, disbelief, is when you need to justify things as hallucinations or pranks or something that happened in a dream that you thought you were kind of awake, but you weren't really. You were sleeping, you were having a dream, and this meta power activated and this thing happened, and you kind of explain everything through that. So I think it's going to be a blast to roleplay as and get to see the world through his eyes. I think it's gonna be lots of fun.
Yeah, his timeline is much different from Cassian, where Cassian is like early 20th century. This one comes from a cyber noir city and version of London. A lot influenced by like V for Vendetta, which is like London, which is futuristic, but it's more around, surveillance and governments watching you. And he is indeed, as you said, a very, very, very fascinating but also challenging character to roleplay, as everything is a conspiracy in his eyes. Everything he doesn't really believe he's a Metanthrope. So players will have to figure out how to translate and explain everything happening around them. So it's indeed one of the best and most fun and also challenging characters that you can choose. Moving on to the most artistic soul of the group, Ren Arcadia are coming. They are coming from another timeline which has something we do not have. This is festivals in Montreal where they blend engineering with art and shows, and they create like statues which are also conductors of electricity. And this is like a known cultural thing happening not only in Montreal but throughout the world. Maybe it's a timeline heavily infested with Tesla technology, or maybe Edison went a different way, or this and that. It's all up to the narrator and player to decide. Actually, I do say that this Tesla inspired conductive architecture took root. And
but yeah, that's the point. You have lots of hooks and lots of things that the player and the narrator together can grab and feed off from and spin off and do your own thing when playing with these introductory characters. But the whole idea is that they have also hooks in the grand scheme of things. So if you want to grab these pre-made characters and go through the whole introductory and anthology series, you will have plenty of hooks for all of these 10 new pre-mades, so that players, they won't have to, for their playing Metanthropes, have to rely on creating a new character from scratch. You can start playing these characters.
That's the idea of them becoming
and blend them seamless,
like iconic, maybe even characters for the series, slowly but steadily. Because as you said, you can start with introductory but continue with them in anthologies, and you can start figuring out as a narrator and as a player in which faction they might end up with, or which of the concert master of the anthologies they may antagonize, or there are many hooks. And as for Ren Arcadia, they from a very young age gravitated towards movement arts, but also engineering and electrical sculpture, and they crafting conductive rigs with lightning rods and performing high stakes shows and in a nomadic and expressive lifestyle. and through freedom they found their home. But during one such event, a freak accident occurred and they were struck by a massive lightning storm, and electricity surged through them, giving the awesome gift of electrokinesis, the cool new icon over here. So this one is the most expressive one of the group, but also wielding the most catastrophic meta power out of the 10 by far. So but if you don't want to just blast people, but you want to crowd control environments, maybe Talia Grant is your pick. Coming from a futuristic timeline where we have an eccentric entrepreneur, but also an esteemed scientist who has discovered ways to mend gravitational waves with the neurons of the human brain, and she actually conducted these experiments on herself, and she actually became able to control gravity as intuitive as muscle memory through her own mind. But through this amazing power and discovery came a very heavy burden, as she is forced to take synchronizing alignment, like neural escalation alignment drugs, to reestablish her brilliant mind. So this procedure left her with severe hemicranias and episodes and neurological instability. So she has to remain addicted to these alignment stabilizer pills, and she fears that the very instability inside her may jeopardize her vision, but she cannot stop continuing as a scientist that she is in her very core, performing and not only performing experiments, but also using her meta powers of controlling gravity. So this one is a brilliant scientist, but also could be role played with little bit touches of a eccentric entrepreneur and a billionaire in her own timeline, but also face addiction and the struggles that come within. So another very interesting duality of power and human-like nature. Again, this is all what Metanthropes is about. It's both the meta and the anthropic. But some players just want to kick some ass and chew bubble gum, as they say. And we have one option for them. We have Trevor the Anvil Reyes, which is a competitive pro wrestler. Shout out to Chris Kidd, who has been an influence for this character. And almost all of them have one or more players who have influenced this template made of becoming what they are. But I just want to give one shout out to Chris Kidd for this one, just because of competitive pro wrestler and the token. But we have also a change in the 10 meta powers of our pre-made characters. Whereas we were using all this time meta strength for the hammer classification, which is very solid, very straightforward. We just punch stronger, jump higher, throw further, and so on. We decided to make a cool little change, which and spice things up with side shift, labeling a character not just to become stronger, and they do become stronger, but also change their side. They become bigger or smaller depending on the situation. So we have one whose metamorphosis is selective evolution. They didn't have a trauma, they didn't go through a portal, they didn't discover something. It just, while they were wrestling and training, they just became bigger one day. Or maybe they were trying to go under the ropes and they shrunk half their size. So Trevor the Anvil, stage name Anvil, is a wrestler with fame, wealth, attention, and sponsorships, but unsure how to control their power and afraid to risk exposure. Because what if everyone thinks that they're a freak? What if they will never be able to wrestle again? What if the government abducts him and starts performing terrible experiments on them to duplicate his power. All those fears and thoughts are in the competitive, predatorial, and materialistic mind of Trevor. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is for the ones who want to be loud, who want to be at the center of the screen of any scene. Just be loud, smash things, kind of pretty straightforward.
And from the very first session, be able to become as large as an ogre or as a giant, and be able to grab your enemies and have fun, because it is this easy to become bigger and smaller with size shift. And last but not least, we have Yumi Nuboki from a futuristic Japan, Tokyo, Japan. She is born into a family within the Lattice. Lattice is a transnational paramilitary intelligence syndicate of this timeline, which is it's not exactly a criminal organization like the Yakuza. We didn't want to go through this established route. Sorry, apologies. But we invented something new for this timeline, and they're basically children from originating from there are born and bred into becoming agents, learning how to use weapons, how to scan the environment, how to extract information, and she was one of the best, exceptional cognitive capabilities, and through her own bloodline, that's why her metamorphosis is meta bloodline, she awakened meta intelligence. She has rapid learning, pattern recognition, tactical abstraction, strategic clarity. So she was like a prodigy in her own lineage. But when it came the time for her children to be marked with a life of obedience, a life of potential violence, she made a choice for them, a choice that she never had, and took her siblings, sorry, it's siblings, not children, she took her younger siblings and ran away, becoming a fugitive in the only world she ever known. And everything she does for her beloveds. So this one is all about love, but also duty, and also being a freaking cool agent like Jason Bourne or John Wick. Or she's the only one that comes with the packed with the machine guns and weapons and cool meta powers.
Yeah, she comes ready for a fight, for sure. But I really like the fact that she has meta intelligence, which gives you access to lots of perks. So for her, being able to use weapons, operations, all these things are second nature to her. So it's definitely a very powerful character to play, and a great character to start with, because the utilitarian kind of has no favorites in terms of XP spending. So you can go into Aegis, you can go into Kineticist or Clairvoyant, you can go anywhere. So as a starting character, a utilitarian character can go and have access to all the other meta powers relatively cheaper than other options. Anyone can go and unlock any meta power. However, the utilitarians get a little bit of XP boost or XP savings. For leveling up.
That's indeed a very good
starting
point.
With meta intelligence gives you access to a lot of perks to get started, which is always great for new characters to begin with.
So there you have it, folks. That was a quick runabout of the new temporary made characters fleshed out. You will soon be able to go and check them out, check the roleplay. If you roleplay with them, if you join them and play introductory, use them as NPCs, in any given session we would like to hear about. And as we are about to wrap up not only today's show, but the last show of 2025 for us. I think QP, we want to express our gratitude for all the members of the community who has been there for us, namely QP, Carl, Gold,
MB, you said not.
MB. Did I say
Shout out to
QP?
MB and Carl.
No, not to you.
Yeah, shout out to our patrons. Shout out to everyone who commented on our YouTube posts on Patreon, gave us their feedback on Discord, sent us email with their feedback suggestions. Thank you for all that you guys have supported us until now, and we want to wish you and your families and your friends to enjoy the holidays. Wish the best for the year that is to come. And as for us, I want to close with a little spoiler that hopefully next month when we talk again, we will be able to give you more information, but we will be expanding our team in ways that will help us bring some of the best code for the build in the Foundry and help us fast track some of the things that are coming, because 2026 is going to be the year that Metanthropes becomes fully fleshed out. We will have version 1 coming out. We will have everything lined up with the anthologies, and we're going to be going into finalizing the core and establishing that as the Metanthropes. So Metanthropes brand is going to shape up great in 2026, and we can't wait to show you what's coming next. So for me, again, thank you. We're very grateful to have you in our journey.
Yeah, we're extremely thankful and grateful to all the people who have supported us through our crowdfundings, through our store, and through Marketplace, Foundry Marketplace, but also the members of the community that have been active and offer us their feedback. This is still just the beginning for us, and we are very glad that from our very first early baby steps, we have active and supportive members to our community. Thank you.
Yeah, so a big thank you. Thank you.
And we wish you all a very fond closing of 2025 and an amazing beginning to 2026, surrounded by your loved ones with health above all else.
Indeed.
And above all else,
the last time for 2025.
Yeah, stay legit
and stay meta.
Yeah.